Okay, I forgot to scroll my slide, so we'll put that back up. There's the land that talks about air lots. It's very common for condo, all right? So that's possible. Now, that's the third dimension. North, south, east, west, up and down. We actually have a fourth dimension that we sell in. Anybody know what the fourth dimension is? Anybody know what the fifth dimension? That's the singing group. What goes up must come. Don't feel embarrassed, because you are absolutely 100% correct. The fourth dimension is time. Can I put multiple people in the same spot at different times? This isn't Schrodinger's cat, all right? The answer is yes, because I'm doing the same thing with your seats. This afternoon at a different time, there will be another person in that exact same spot. You can put different people in the same place at different times. What you can't do is put different people in the same spot at the same time. That's called a car accident. When you try and disobey the laws of physics, you can't put two things in the same place, all right? But I can put two things in the same place at different times, and we will sell that, and we call it a timeshare. Bingo. That's the next evolution. Not only do they live at 91 to 100 feet of page 7 of Plat Book, Modulin Estates, whatever that whole long, they actually only live there week 1 of 90 to 91 feet, because someone else owns that second week and someone else owns the third week, and that's actually how they do timeshares. I have a timeshare right now that is deeded, and my deed literally says the 44th week of the year, that house is mine. Not the 43rd or the 45th. It's the 44th week of the year, all right, which turns out to be about the first week in November, usually, somewhere around in there. I go to Florida, and I spend with the family down in our timeshare. All right? So that's the fourth dimension. If there was a way, anybody ever remember the TV series called Fringe? Where they had the different, like, planes. They had the Beta where the Statue of Liberty was made of gold and this. If we could have a different plane, as realtors, we'll find a way to sell it. All right? We don't have that yet. So we have time, we have space, so that's how we get legal descriptions and we get timeshares, and now there is no way that you will end up in any other place there is. Every property is unique. There are no two that are the same. I just showed it to you how it's possible. Now, there's a couple other things with this chapter real quick I just want to cover to make sure you guys understand. If I were you, since this is the business you're going into, there's a couple things I would mesmerize, all right? One acre is 43,560 square feet. I've got to erase this. It's all there. It's all in your book. You can read. Okay. All right. So let's do fun with math. So 1 acre is 43,560 feet. So if a farmer had some land that was 500 feet by 750 feet, and then he was to ask you how many acres, somebody do that and tell it to me. So he's got a farm that's rectangular. It's 500 feet by 750 feet. How many acres are in it? Everybody know how to figure area? I don't know. I've made this number up, so I don't know what it. We'll have to get someone to corroborate. You know who said no? They don't have to figure area. Area is length times width. All right. So to square feet, you get 500 feet times 750 feet what do you got? 1, 2, 3, 5, 38,000, 385,000 square feet. Is that number right? No? Oh, I knew that. I was just testing you. So it's 375,000 square feet. You would then divide that by 43,560, and what do you get? 8.6 acres? So now the farmer says, I want to sell it at $100,000 an acre because I think a developer is going to build it. Let's change that. That's stupid. Farmer says, I want to sell it for $10,000 an acre to another farmer. How much is he selling that property for? 10,000 times 8.6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. $860,000. This is a typical calculations you guys will do in the real world. They're going to call you and say, hey, I want you to list the property. My neighbor got 9,500. I want to show him up. I want you to list it for 10,000 an acre. And you go, okay, how many acres do you have? Well, I don't know, but it's 750 by 550. And you would literally do the math, divided by 43,560, and they would say, okay, we got that? All right. Now, it's just 86,000. I was trusting someone else. Once again, I was testing you. And you passed. Yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it? 8 acres at 10 grand, it's only 80 acres. 80,000. Man, I'm sorry about that. My math is usually better. All right. So actually, we sell it, and we sold it for, he didn't get out of it what he wanted, so I'm going to make this number up again. He got 69,500 out of it. So somebody tell me how much he got per acre. So we sold it. We listed it at 86. We got 89.5. How much did he get per acre? $8,082. I'm sorry, what?
It's $8,081.40.
Close enough. Right? Now, Kroger comes in, and they said, you know what, we want to build there, but we don't pay by the acre. We pay according to the front foot. There's the road. And we're only going to pay, and I'm making this up as we go, so I don't know the answer to this. Let's find out. Kroger says we're only going to pay $1,000 a front foot. This is very common in the commercial world. Front foot bases the amount of exposure a driver has while they're driving down the street. All right? And they're going to pay $1,000 a front foot. So tell me how much they're going to pay for this property. Like I said, I'm making this up because I think in my math and my kid, this is going to be a real good deal for them. So the front foot is based on the exposure to the road we're talking about. If the road they're talking about runs parallel to the 500-foot section, then that's 500 feet per front foot. So it's 500 feet of front foot. And let's say they're going to pay $1,000. Let's make that a little better, right? So for this land, they're going to pay $500,000. They would be willing to pay up to $500,000 for that land, because it doesn't matter how deep it is or how many acres. It only matters on the front foot. All right? In the commercial world, you will find there's a lot of things more important than money to them. And this is one for a lot of them, is how much exposure do they have to the consumer. Now, if it passes that 500 foot, then yeah, they may say, okay, now how many acres? Because we don't want 500 foot wide by 2 foot deep. So there is some other things that fall into line, but this is a common thing, is a front foot where they ask. So understand, it's a linear distance along the road of exposure. If the road ran here, then the front foot would be 750 feet. All right? So it's important to understand the front foot is a linear footage exposure to a consumer. Which road are they talking about? Which way is it running? If the road's running north and south in this example, it would be 750. If the road's running east and west, it's along the side of it, that'd be 500. Are we good? Yay! This is why no two properties are the same. Any questions on this chapter? Nope. Feel free to call me if you have questions.